Dear students, Assalamu alaikum to all of you in 11th class. Our today's topic is chemiosmotic hypothesis. Dear students, excuse me, before this I have uploaded this lecture first, but due to error in uploading it was deleted. So today I am going to start it again because it is very important chapter of your syllabus. So in chemiosmotic hypothesis, I have told you that we are proceeding, we are continue in photosynthesis. So in case of photosynthesis, I have told you that photosynthesis requires two steps in which light and dark reaction are included. So in case of light reaction directly, I have told you it takes place in presence of light, and the products, it depends upon light, and the products which are formed in light reaction are ATP and NADPH. Then so we make use of these light reaction products for the reaction in which glucose formation takes place. So this process we call this as photosynthesis. Now, so the light reaction chemiosmotic hypothesis has a very important factor, or we can say it has a very important step in case of non-cyclic phosphorylation, which you have read in photosynthesis first lecture. If you recall that the most important factor there is photosystem second and photosystem first, because two photosystems, photosystem 1 and PS second and PS1 are present there. So now we have to take here about the two photosystems, and you have read that in presence of sunlight in photosystems, this photosystem second absorbs sunlight at 680 nanometer wavelength, and it splits the water molecule which is present in the atmosphere. So when this pigment system second absorbs sunlight and splitting of photolysis takes place, it means that water molecule breaks. So at first we have to see where this photolysis takes place, and in what way it takes place, and where this process happens. So for example, we will take, this is inner membrane of thylakoid, and then there is outer membrane of thylakoid. Now what is thylakoid? First we have to see, we know in case of green plants there is an important organelle which is a double membrane organelle. It is chloroplast. So we know this chloroplast carries chlorophyll pigment. So in this, inside chloroplast there are some coiled structures, coil-like structures. These structures are called as thylakoids. So inside thylakoid, splitting of water molecule, so we can say breakdown of water molecule takes place, and all the processes take place here for the formation of energy, or we can say for energy formation. Inside this chloroplast is lumen. So thylakoid is present inside the chloroplast. There is a cavity present inside chloroplast at the region which is bound to inner membrane of the chloroplast. It is called a stroma. These two photosystems, photosystem second and photosystem first, are present in the membrane of thylakoid. So here photosystem second, it splits the water molecule, it performs the photolysis. Here photosystem second also works for breakdown of water molecule, it means photolysis of water. So by absorbing sunlight, photolysis of water molecule takes place in inner membrane of thylakoid. When water molecule breaks, and H positive ions or H positive ions which represent proton, these get released, and electrons and free oxygen gets removed. So some H positive ions are present in stroma, and what these H positive ions will do? When you have read in non-cyclic phosphorylation, their photosystem second breaks the water molecule at 680 nanometer wavelength. Then electron acceptor transports electrons with the help of electron transport system. But the fact is that cytochrome B and F transport electrons and carries H positive ions up to the lumen of thylakoid. Now what is the function of cytochrome B and F? So at first we can see cytochrome B and F carries H positive ions up to the lumen of thylakoid, and then it transports electrons to photosystem 1. So now there are two enzymes. One is ATP synthase, and this ATP synthase is responsible for the formation of ATP. Another enzyme which is present at outer membrane, it is NADH reductase. So this NADH reductase is responsible for the formation of NADP to NADPH2. So how these H positive ions get entry in the lumen of thylakoid? So when the H positive ions take entry through cytochrome B and F into the lumen of chloroplast, so concentration of all the H positive ions which were present in the stroma get decreased, and proton gradient in the lumen of thylakoid gets increased. So how they get entry? These H positive ions represent protons. So when water molecule splits, then electrons and protons are released. These electrons provide energy, so we can say excitation of electrons takes place here in them. Then energy formation takes place, and that energy is used by cytochrome B and F for providing H positive ions in the lumen and transport H positive ions ahead. So as the result of activation of electrons, all H positive ions collect into the lumen. In this way, proton gradient goes maximum in the thylakoid membrane. Now H positive ions will go to ATP synthase enzyme. So ATP synthase has two components. One is F0 component. It is indicated as F0, and second is F1 component. F0 component is integral component, and it is present in the inside membrane. So F1 component is hanging structure which is present in the stroma. Now what will ATP synthase do? So the work of ATP synthase is the formation of ATP. The energy which is formed from the concentration of H positive gradient comes and helps in activation of F0 particle and F1 particle. So as a result, inorganic phosphate combines with ADP, and with the use of that energy, formation of ATP will take place. And now H positive ions will come out from the lumen to stroma. So there is another enzyme which is NADP reductase. This NADP reductase will form NADPH. Now what this enzyme will do? Now the H positive ions which were released or transported to the enzyme NADH reductase. So what happens here? Now DP positive with the help of enzyme undergoes reduction. It means that addition of hydrogen takes place here. Then the formation of NADPH2 takes place. Now some important basic points which we need in this hypothesis. It means that first one is there occurs splitting of water molecule. So somebody, if he will ask us that where this splitting of water molecule takes place, so we can answer him that splitting of water molecule takes place inside of the thylakoid membrane. So then he can ask us that protons or H positive ions, where these are